Welcome everyone to Living the Laws and another transformative session of Wednesday Wisdom Live. I'm Larry Laws Sr., and I'm delighted to have you live with me today. If you're watching on replay, thank you for tuning in. I truly value your time and engagement. Last week, we explored John Maxwell's law of influence and how true leadership is built not on titles, but on our capacity to inspire and shape outcomes. We use the rook on the chessboard as our sample piece of clarity, structure, and decisive power. Today, we're moving deeper into the journey of leadership, where another powerful principle of John Maxwell's 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, the law of process. Now, leadership develops daily, not in a day. Let us turn our eyes to the chessboard, where leadership lessons await. The journey of the pawn reminds us of the law of process. The pawn moves one square at a time. The only exception is on its first move, where it's allowed to move two squares. The pawn is the smallest piece on the board and the only piece that once it moves forward, it can never go back. So that's why we use the term the pawn advances. The magic of the pawn is that once it reaches its opponent's back rank, it transforms to any desired piece. In most cases, the queen is chosen. That's the magic of the law of process. Growth, leadership, and success aren't built overnight. As a leader, how we do one thing is how we do everything. So focus on the journey. Take your steps with purpose. The pawn's journey on the chessboard perfectly symbolizes the law of process. Growth happens one deliberate step at a time. Success is the result of small daily actions. John Maxwell says champions they don't become champions in the ring. They are merely recognized there. The law of process teaches us that true leadership and success are built through daily discipline, learning, and intentional action. It's not one day. It's not a one-day event. It's a journey. Growth happens one deliberate step after another. Success can be measured as cumulative results of small daily actions. My personal journey through college and obtaining my degree was a process of perseverance. It was a journey that taught me that education truly is a process, not a single event. I graduated high school in May of 1980 at 17 years old, but I had a dream of going to college. At the time, I was overwhelmed. The idea of moving straight from high school into a college classroom for 4 more years felt impossible. At that stage in my life was clouded with questions about future, and I simply wasn't ready to be confined to a classroom. So when I turned 18 in September, just 2 days after my birthday, I joined the United States Army. I wanted to travel, experience life, and find clarity before pursuing my degree. I originally planned to serve only 3 years in the Army and then get out and attend college full time. But after those 3 years, the military was going well for me. So I extended my service. Yet deep down, I still had an ideal and a dream of earning my college degree. So in 1983, 3 years into my service, I took my very first class. It was a night class to prepare me for civilian life. It was difficult. I struggled in the class, but I refused to quit. I knew it was just the beginning of a process. As the years passed, I kept serving, performing my military duties during the day, and I kept studying and going to school at night. I extended my military enlistment several times, always telling myself I would finish my degree. But it wasn't easy. There was deployments, field exercises, long work hours, extra duty, special duty, TDY, that's temporary duty for you civilians, 12 and 24-hour shifts, airborne operations, alerts, family responsibilities as a husband and a father. There was times I had to withdraw from classes, times I outright failed. There was a semester that I couldn't register for class because of duty, but I kept moving forward. By my 7th year in the military, I was within one semester of completing my associate degree. So I reenlisted again, this time under a degree completion program that allowed me to be excused from duty for a full semester to finish school. I took 5 classes in that one semester. It was intense. I fell short of one of my classes. I struggled. Even I didn't get a passing grade. I could not transfer some of my credits because my grades were not good enough. It was discouraging. I didn't give up. After that semester, I continued taking classes. At night, 1 or 2 classes at a time when I could. At my own expense, I retook the class that I failed in the degree completion program. I retook other classes to get transferable credits. I tested out many of my courses, as many as I could through the CLEP tests and other exam programs. Even when I was stationed overseas, I found ways to keep studying. And in 1993, 13 years after high school and 10 years after taking my very first college class, I finally was able to complete the hours needed for my bachelor's degree. It had taken me over a decade of night classes, deployments, late nights, study sessions with friends, comrades, and sheer persistence. When I finally walked across the stage, I received my degree, my diploma. I knew that piece of paper wasn't just a proof of what I've learned in books. It was proof of years of commitment, sacrifice, and resilience. Earning my degree wasn't something that happened overnight. It happened over many nights, countless days, weekends, and years. It was a journey marked by small victories, setbacks, and steady growth. Education is a process. Success in college and in life is built through daily effort, patience, and learning from failures as much as those from triumphs. So in college now, if you're in college, thinking of going back to college, or facing obstacles along the way, don't give up. Keep going. Keep growing. The process will shape you into someone stronger than you were when you started. And that brings us right back to the core message I'm sharing with you today. Now, John Maxwell's law of process. Maxwell says leadership develops daily, not in a day. My story is living the proof that just education, one class at a time, leadership is built one decision, one action, and one lesson at a time. It forged through consistent effort, patience, and a willingness to keep going, even when progress seems slow. The law of progress teaches us that success in leadership, in business, and in life is not an event. It's a journey. It's a commitment to daily improvement and to push through the tough sessions without giving up on the goal. So as we dive deeper today into the law of leadership, I want you to remember this. Whether you're building your career, growing a business, or developing as a leader, trust the process. Keep taking steps. Keep growing. Because the leader you're becoming is shaped every single day. Like the pond, you might start in a humble position. You might be an employee, an entry-level manager, or even a new employer, an entrepreneur. You may feel like the smallest piece on the board, but keep moving forward, even if only one square at a time. Once you reach the 8th rank, you would transform. The journey focuses and forces opponents to adjust. It opens lanes that will help determine the outcome. It takes measured daily steps, and that is how leaders grow. Let me give you 3 principles to help you embrace the law of process. Number 1, small steps compound in significant growth. Each day, focus on one thing that makes you better. Improve 1% each day. Read a book. Practice speaking for 5 minutes. Reach out to one of your new friends in your network. Learn one more new skill or piece of technology. Small actions compound over time. Number 2, growth requires intentionality, not accident. You don't drift into success. Growth demands deliberate practice. In the military, we rehearsed every scenario we may face in combat so that under fire, we wouldn't freeze. We'll simply execute the process with practice. So do it for yourself daily. What I'm learning today, how am I stretching myself? Am I going beyond my comfort zone? Am I following the plan of my growth or just hoping for the best? And number 3, endure the process. Even when process feels slow. The journey is often slow, and sometimes it gets blocked. Sometimes you may have to wait longer. There is a season for frustration, fatigue, and feeling stuck. But it's in those times, those moments, perseverance defends your leadership development. So let me challenge you today. Are you taking daily steps like the pond? Do you have a plan for your growth? Are you leaving it to chance? Are you willing to endure the slow seasons, trusting that transformation awaits on the other side? Whether you're transitioning from the military to civilian life, stepping from management into leadership, or moving from employee to entrepreneur, remember, great leaders are not made in a moment of crisis. They are revealed there, but forged in a quiet, consistent process long before the spotlight shines on them. If you're ready to take the next step in your journey, I invite you to take my free leadership quiz. The link is in the description below. It will help you discover your naturally level of leadership, your own leadership. The results may inspire you. So, if you're seeking to dive deeper into preparing for your next move, visit my website at larrylaws.com, where you'll find resources to help you move from possible stalemate to checkmate. Let's keep growing. Together, we'll advance one square at a time. Thank you for joining me today on Wednesday Wisdom Live. And we look forward to seeing you again next week, where we'll continue this journey and explore the law of navigation, learning how great leaders chart the course and guide their teams through any storm. Until then, remember, think before you move and make your next move your best move.